Hey guys, QuentinForFandroid.com, and this is our review of the HTC Flyer. The Flyer is HTC's first tablet, and we're a bit intrigued by what they've done here. Starting with the hardware, the Flyer is a 7-inch device, which makes it comfortable to hold in either one hand or two hands and in either landscape or portrait. It's not the thinnest device we've ever used, but it certainly isn't the thickest. It's not heavy either, but the Tab 10.1 is lighter than this, which is funny considering that's a 10.1 inch device. HTC has gone for the same build quality and quality of materials that they use for their phone. You can see here this is sort of a matte finish on the back of the HTC Flyer. You can see the white grips on the sides of the tablet here, which are great for holding the tablet in portrait mode. On one of those white grips, you get a 5 megapixel HD video camera, but you don't get any LED flashes to go along with that. That same panel is detachable by pushing in on it and then pushing up, and you can just slip it right off. This gives us access to the micro SD card slot, which you can use to expand memory up to 32 additional gigabytes. The battery inside isn't user replaceable, but the battery is great. You get a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, which can last you 19 days on standby time, and I've seen this in my testing. At the top, you can see a 3.5mm headphone jack, and to the right of that is a translucent power button. The reason it's translucent is because there's an LED light. Up top is your volume rocker up and down button, and to the left and right of those are your microphone holes. On the back are your two speaker grills, which produce pretty great sound. On the bottom is a micro USB port customized by HTC, and as you can see, you can use a standard micro USB cable just fine, and this even works for charging in data sync. Not only can you charge it using a standard wall plug, you can also charge it using a USB port on your PC. HTC plans to use a custom connector for upcoming accessories. The 7-inch display on the Flyer is a 1024x600 TFT LCD, and while it's not the most crisp one in the world, it's very bright and very vibrant. Inside we have Qualcomm's 1.5 GHz single-core Snapdragon processor, and that's accompanied by an Adreno 205 GPU. You also get 1 GB of RAM. When we heard the Flyer's processor will be clocked at 1.5 GHz, we expected a very speedy experience. Switching between apps is generally fast, and the accelerometer works pretty well. But scrolling through applications can sometimes be a pain, and it will lock up on you from time to time. One minor problem I had was with the capacitive buttons. They work, and they work quite well, but they're kind of hard to see in direct sunlight. Still, we're happy HTC included 2 sets of capacitive buttons, so you can use the buttons no matter which orientation you're holding the Flyer in. Considering it technically is hardware, we'd love to take a look at the Scribe pin right now, but we're going to take a look at the software first and take a look at the Scribe in its own section, so let's get to it. The biggest disappointment about the software is that it's not a honeycomb device. Instead, you get Android 2.3 with HTC Sense. In the software, they call it a modified version of Sense 2.1, but you can clearly see that it more closely resembles HTC Sense 3.0 found on the Evo 3D and the Sensation. It starts with this customizable lock screen that you can use to launch applications directly from the lock screen. The applications on this lock screen are customizable, but this is the only customizable lock screen you'll get. As you see, you also get a nice weather effect when you power the device on. This is optional and can be disabled. The core of HTC Sense is a lot closer to 3.0 than it is to 2.1 as well. As you can see, you still have that same scrolling carousels from the Evo 3D and the HTC Sensation. You also have the same new HTC Watch and HTC Reader widgets and applications. Most of HTC's applications have been customized to take advantage of the screen real estate. In the case of HTC Reader and Watch, you can get your list of content on the left side with more information about that content on the right. FriendStream has also been given similar functionality, which we actually enjoy a lot more now. Clicking links inside a tweet will actually open up a web page in the viewer below. Unfortunately, you can only add one account to each type of network, including Twitter, Facebook, and Flickr. There are also new applications such as Snap Booth, which allow you to take pictures of yourself with ridiculous effects. Actually, reading in Reader is great with smooth page turning, bookmark support, Scribe pen support, and the ability to change text size and the background color. Unfortunately, because it's powered by Kobo, you can't add your own books and you can't add books from other ecosystems. The highlight of the software is definitely the Notes application, which is powered by Evernote. It gives you all the same features as a regular Evernote application for Android, but it also includes HTC Scribe integration. I think now is a good time to talk about the Scribe pen, so let's jump into that. To activate the Scribe pen, you can actually touch the capacitive button on the bottom right of the device with the pen, or you can actually just start drawing. You can start writing anywhere and it'll record your strokes just as accurately as it would with a piece of paper and pen. You get a number of options, colors, and styles to choose from, so if you need the accuracy of a ballpoint pen, you can use that. Or if you need a highlighter, you can also use that. They also have an eraser here, so if you mess up and you don't want to discard the whole note, you can actually just erase it. Notes are saved and synced to Evernote, and when you look at them in a browser, they turn up as images, but if you have to download them back to your Flyer, they turn up as editable notes. In the Reader application, Scribe technology is integrated, so you can write notes and it'll remember exactly which pages you wrote them on. The Scribe pen can be used in any application, even if that application wasn't designed to work with it. For instance, here in the browser, I can just start drawing, and I can save the note. It'll save the note as an image to Evernote. While not nearly as cool as customized integration in Reader and Notes, it's still very useful and one you guys are going to enjoy. The pen itself feels great in the hand, and even with the one AAA battery inside, this thing feels just like a normal pen. It's very easy to hold, and it won't make you miss your ink pens of yesteryear. There are 2 buttons on the side of it, which you use for text selection and scrolling in the Notes application. The button to the left also helps you quickly erase writing when you hold it down. As for the camera sensor, it's still quite disappointing like it is on our phones, and they haven't even changed the software that much. The options and special effects you get are still great, but it still pales in comparison to their competitors. With the optional Scribe pen, the HTC Flyer is a great companion device for those who don't want to carry around a pen and paper anymore. I'm still perplexed as to why HTC didn't decide to put a dual-core processor inside, and why they decided to skip out on Honeycomb. They said the Flyer will be upgradable to Honeycomb, but they didn't exactly say when that would happen. If you're here for the Scribe pen alone though, this is a great buy for $500. Head over to fandroid.com for our full review.